Hey there folks, Jumpestic here, bringing you another audio commentary, and today we have a game on a 12-player map. It's from the finals of G League. It's just happened today between th000 and Infi. It's a best of 7, and th000 is currently up 3-2, so if he wins this game, he wins G League for this season at least, and apparently they've been allowed to play on this insane map. I believe it's Emerald Gardens. It's a really weird map where I think it's only used for free-for-alls basically, and it looks like th000 going for a very fast tower. Maybe they go for a quick expansion because obviously, or not obviously, bearing in mind this map, all the middle expansions are completely unguarded, so you can expand to them very quickly. And both players are actually playing human, which is quite interesting. Usually at least one of them will opt to play elf, but really on this map, I guess with the expanding, you really want to be able to expand very quickly with that power building. So we're going to see how it's going to play out. Infi going for a very different, very standard strategy, whereas th000 lumber mill and farm and then a couple towers. It's a interesting choice here by him. We'll see how it plays out. The creeps on this map, I haven't played this map for absolutely years. I remember I used to play it a bit. The creeps are quite fun. They're actually quite tricky to creep out. Lots of them have weird abilities that no one really knows the Murloc abilities, I think, but I think one of them is like a priest, or it can heal, and one of them has slow and stuff like that. And so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. th000 will probably put down an altar fairly soon, because I cannot imagine, I mean it's th000, so maybe he's going to go for a tavern hero, but I do imagine something like a Mountain King or an Archmage would be better. Probably an Archmage in this on this map, just because if you can get that level 6, get that mass teleport, that is just so useful. You know, Infi now scouting out, but there's so many spawn positions. He's actually be quite lucky, and he's going to scout it out quite quickly. He'll scout out this position first, and then he'll move down and see th000. And actually, I think th000, yeah, th000, by putting up some towers here, he's actually blocking off the only real entrance into his base, apart from if you has to want to go all the long way around. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. What an amazing map to be playing this on, though. Infi has this Archmage out. I assume that G League just said, yeah, if you two agree on a map, you can play on it. And obviously, th000 and Infi, not only teammates, but also really good friends. So I assume that they've just agreed with each other to choose a map. And yeah, this one Murloc in the back is a priest one, and no one really, I imagine neither of them really know what goes on in this map, but we're going to have to see if when th000 is actually going to put up this expansion. He doesn't have quite enough money here. Look at this, Infi running his pit peasant pack, and th000 just like, oh, hi there. Yeah, I put up some towers and haven't really built a base yet. He's putting up his altar now, and Infi probably going to respond by going for some pressure, maybe, although it looks like he's going to be going for some creeping, at least get that level 2, and then maybe start to do some pressure, because obviously if you can get past these towers, you can really put th000 in a bad position where th000 have to be calling militia the whole time. Obviously water elemental is fantastic against those militia. We're going to see how it plays out. th000 now building his altar. Maybe this peasant's running towards the tavern to buy a hero, although it looks like he's probably just going to start his expansion now. And Infi now leveling up to level 2, having some alright items actually for this stage. There's a Cloak of Shadows actually could be quite useful in this situation, where both players are likely to stay at tier 1 for a long time. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. If Infi wants to go for some very fast teching, knowing that th000's probably going to be behind with this expansion, or if Infi wants to go for an expansion of his own, he'll know th000's going for that expansion because he saw these towers here, and it's just such an obvious thing to do at this stage. And we are seeing an Archmage coming out now for th000. As I said, it's a sensible choice really on this map, but obviously if you've chosen this map, you've made some pretty unsensible choices to this date. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Infi building up an expansion of his own. Good choice there, I think, at this stage. You don't want to be massively outmined by th000, who's just so resilient, especially with the Merc camp back here. We could see him buying some Merc just to ward off attacks, because by the looks of things, he hasn't actually put up a barracks yet. Really interesting play here by th000, who's now under a lot of pressure. Actually, Infi could have come in, could try and pick off some peasants here. We're going to see how he wants to play it. th000 still doing some creeping with just an Archmage and a Water Elemental. These creeps are really hard to creep out, actually. So we're going to see, I'm not sure if th000 could be able to take them out with just these, just the Water Elemental and the Archmage. He might have to bring out a second Water Elemental, which would be an annoying use of money. And look at this, Infi going the long way around. Going to be able to creep jack th000, but he doesn't go quite far enough. Maybe he's going to try and go for the towers, picking them off one by one now. That'd be a good choice here, because he can get a better angle on them. But so many footmen out for Infi. Still none out for th000, who now started teching, actually. th000 decided footmen are for noobs, and Infi not yet teching himself. Maybe th000's going to go buy some merc share. I think that'd be a good choice, so he probably will wake up the merc share. I'm not sure how this works, actually. Probably Infi just will wake them up in the end, or th000 will wake them up and then TP out. We'll see how this works out. th000 actually now being forced to the back here. He does pick up this one Makura Snapper, and that going to try and run it out, and looks like th000 actually in a lot of trouble, going to be surrounded here, going to have to TP out. He is level 1, so he could, I mean, he could in theory try to just say, okay, well, I'm going to lose my Archmage, but he just wouldn't be worth it at this stage because he's under so much pressure, and Infi being left here to finish off these creeps. He has picked up a giant sea turtle, which you'll of course recognize for things like Turtle Rock. Does a whole bunch of those turtles, and th000 now he's finished this expansion on Wildmack, and ooh, look at these footmen are now rallying in through those towers and actually going down without doing any damage. It's a bit cursed by Infi, but really there's just so much going on for Infi now, and it's such an unusual map and layout. He doesn't really know how this map works at all. th000 taking a lot of damage now on his Archmage. He needs to be careful with this because even though it does revive quickly, as I say, th000 is under a lot of pressure, and Infi still not attacking, whereas th000's tech got to be done pretty soon. Yeah, it's about 80% done now, so it looks like Infi going to be able to do a bit more creeping, maybe get his level 3, picking up a clause of attack as well. That's pretty nice for him. There's his level 3, and he's now probably going to want to do some pushing with those level 2 water elementals. You can take down these towers quite quickly, although some more are being set up now. th000 with still only one unit, this Makura Snapper, which it actually doesn't have bad stats. 6 armor, which is really nice, especially against the footmen and the water elementals, which otherwise would be quite a threat. And looks like th000 has set up some towers in his base. His tech is almost done to tier 2 now. I imagine he'll put off a couple of Arcane Sanctums and try and play it normal from here on in, and just ignore the fact he never managed to build something, maybe put in some, or throw in some breakers a bit earlier than normal, or just get some Sorks and try and play it that way. And meanwhile, are we seeing some tech yet from Infi? No, Infi putting up 2 more barracks is really committing to this attack. Very, very ambitious here by Infi. He's going to need to keep the pressure completely on th000, and I think if he loses that pressure for too long, he could lose this game. But otherwise, he must be. Surely he's in a good position. It's so hard to say really with this sort of situation, but it looks like he is. I mean, he is a better leveled hero. th000 still at level 1, although he's about to get, no, tower gets the last hit. Yeah, th000 still at level 1, whereas Infi at level 3. Infi has better items, he has better army. He has the same economy really, although th000 now setting up a 3rd expansion already. Look at this, we're 7 minutes into the game. th000's already power building his 3rd expansion, and Infi gonna pick up some more mercs here and just continue with this pressure. And meanwhile, th000 now scouting out this expansion, though he's completely powerless to do anything about it. Water elemental now running in here by Infi, gonna maybe do a bit of damage, but not gonna be able to kill a peasant before he times out, I don't think, as long as th000 is smart about it. And Infi now picking up a Murgle Snarecaster. I'm not sure, does that have Ensnare? It has mana. So maybe this is the one that has slow, I don't quite remember. It seems like approximately the right time for one that had slow to come out. But as I say, it's just such an unusual map. So nice of them to play on a really interesting, really novel map. It's not even a new map, it's a super old map. It looks like the Snarecaster has Dispel. He just got rid of that water elemental. That's very, very nice. It's probably abolish magic actually. Infi with Defend, nice choice there by him. Gonna allow him to make all those footmen from those 3 barracks he has, and then take out these towers if he wants to, or at least survive the attack so he can take out other things. But Infi taking a lot of damage now on his Archmage. Will need to be careful with that. He has no real way of healing. th000 needs to keep his Makura Snapper alive. Often these mercs have a huge amount of experience, and you don't want to be giving your enemy Archmage too much experience there. I wonder if Infi hasn't started his tech yet. I mean, th000 setting up towers here in anticipation of Infi wanting to take a 3rd expansion of his own, and th000 now resting on his economic advantage. He does have this expansion up and running, but apart from that, he's not in a great position. I wonder what his lumber economy. His lumber economy is terrible. He hasn't been able to buy a shredder yet. That'd be a good choice to get. But his Mount King is going to be out soon, and his Archmage could be in trouble for Infi. th000 has done a fantastic job of holding off the attacks. If th000 can call in a bunch of militia now, he might be able to do some damage. th000 does eventually lose that Makura Snapper, but he does have his he can now bolt units within the range of his towers, which is really, really useful. But look how many defended footmen there are here from Infi, and we are now seeing tech from Infi finally, so we might seeing some later gameplay here by him. And Infi just sitting in the back, or sitting here just trying to take down this altar, although I think he probably has better targets if he tried to take out a couple of these towers maybe. But th000 already with 2 masonry upgrades. Wow, really impressive play here by th000, really playing a high economy game, and he does have his 2 Arcane Sanctums out now, as well as a blacksmith, so maybe he's going to be going for a workshop build. Some mortar teams would certainly be nice to throw in the back of his base, just so they can fire over the range of over the towers, things like that. Very, very nice if you're playing so defensively. th000 almost having level 3 now on his Archmage. Those level 2 water elementals obviously not too effective against the footmen, but against everything else they're going to be really fantastic. And th000 going to lose his altar here, but he's already tier 2. Ooh, th000 at 51 food. Considering he's on 3 bases, well, that's a huge amount of gold he's going to be losing. bit of a shame there for him. Hopefully he'll realize it, or maybe he'll just lose a unit soon, and that will rectify everything. And Infi now could lose a couple more units as he runs them away. They should take them out. He should take them off defend, though it looks like he'll manage to get all of those away. And wow, what an amazing game so far. Through pulling a bunch of militia here to try and chase Infi out of here. Ooh, Infi accidentally aggroing some small creeps here, but as I say, some of the creeps here are actually pretty nasty, even though they don't look it. They have really nasty spells, are really just ones that are frustrating to fight against. Thu now getting out some sorts. That's going to be really nice because Infi does not yet have the spell, but Infi now putting in this expansion here, not the one Thu was expecting, or maybe Infi scouted out those towers and had to expand somewhere else. Either one's a possibility. Infi picking up a shredder at this point. I think Thu really needs a shredder. I haven't seen one from him, and I think it'd be just so useful at this point. And Infi now going to lose a couple more units to the swords and to the bolts. Very, very nice play here by Thu, just getting a bunch of extra experience, especially for that Mount King. That's nice. And we do have a workshop now going up for Thu, and still tier 2 though I imagine on 3 base he can afford to go to tier 3, just because he doesn't really have the production capabilities to spend all the money that he's going to be taking in. And I'm not sure if there are any shops on this map. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna have to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, Thu now taking a lot of damage here, and as I say, I just don't think he has the ways of spending the money, so he's probably gonna have to put up a whole bunch more buildings. And it looks like Thu now in a lot of trouble. Actually, we need to get both his heroes back, and Infi, it does have a lot of units, but most of them are footmen, so they will be pretty obsolete pretty quickly. And we can see they even are now that they can be slowed. Very, very annoying here for Infi, especially that means that he basically can't use defend because your units are just so slow. Look, he's using it here, but it's just so slow that unless you're actually up against the water elemental already, it's just really, really wasteful. And Infi now is taking on these couple towers from Thu. Thu actually doesn't manage to cancel them in time, but it's just, as I say, so much going on in this game. And Thu now healing up his heroes with a couple priests that he's managed to build, and Infi now is tier 2 himself, power building a couple of arcane sanctums. Nice choice there. He has the money to power build it, and it's time that really is his enemy here. He just is well, he needs to get these buildings up as soon as possible, and Thu actually could do with getting some Dispel. I'm not sure if he has that on the way. No, he's going for Breakers now. It'd be nice to get Dispel, as I say, considering how much slow there's been for both sides here, with the Murlocs and the Swords, and then obviously the Water Elementals. It's nice to Dispel and everything. Really, Dispel and Invisibility are both very, very useful in Human Mirror, and obviously once you get Invisibility, Dispel can be quite useful in itself for another reason as well. And Infi now actually 1900 lumber, so that shredder really paying for itself, and he does have 3 bases up and running now, so he will eventually be able to catch up in terms of gold. And a bolt goes off on Thu's Sork, and he does lose that. Obviously the water elementals will be taking down those casters very quickly if they do get out of position, and a bunch of defended footmen coming in here for Infi. He's really take them off defend when there's no water elementals out, like now. Yeah, there he goes there, and a bolt goes off on this Mount King. Thu needs to keep this alive because he just can't afford to be losing his Mount King and letting Infi's Mount King level, which is just out now. First mortar team out as well now, but he will be taken out fairly quickly. We can see a bolt already going off, and those water elementals can pick it off very, very quickly. Very, very nice play there by Infi, and a bit sloppy by Thu to leave it in such an exposed position. Probably just had it rally to one of his heroes and didn't realize it was there because of the bolt on the Mount King that happened earlier. And Thu now really a bit running home, just needs to micro back all his low units and let the priest heal them off. But looks like he's actually managing to hold this off quite nicely, and Infi actually sending a bunch of footmen here, but he's going to need to run them back out. He did have a sacrificial water elemental there, but so he didn't really need to run in any footmen to pose as a distraction. And Infi now with his Mount King in trouble. Thu goes for this round. He doesn't quite get it. Oh no! And Infi actually bringing up a water elemental there, which could have surrounded his Mount King for a slightly longer, but unfortunately it doesn't. I'm not sure if that was by design or just by luck, combined with carelessness by Infi there. It looks like a lot of these towers being taken down by Infi, but at a sort of large cost. And Thu should target this sea turtle, which is the only thing without defend here. And meanwhile, Thu moving in for an attack here on Infi's first expansion, and we'll be able to do a lot of damage here. We do now have a bit of a sort of Breakers War situation, apart from we do have mortar teams which do have the first attack upgrade up now for Thu, which is a nice thing to get most of the time. And Thu now probably anticipating a lot of casters from Infi, just because he's seeing these breakers out, and these mortar teams, which he does now have 2 of, are just so useful at taking those out, because you have to constantly be paying attention to what's being focused down and constantly be moving it the projectiles in the air, and it requires a lot of extra micro. It detracts from your other, it makes your other play a bit weaker as well. And it looks like these these towers actually have managed to hold their own. because of those two masonry upgrades, and th000 now has his Mount King surrounded. He did manage to kill one footman to try and get out, but it looks like his Mount King will go down, and he will have to tavern that back. He does still have a large army, and I imagine he has a decent economy, so he will be able to buy it back. Yes, he does, and now th000 will be able to continue his offensive, and actually Infi's Mount King might be in a bit of trouble, but it looks like with no bolt, because obviously there's no mana on this Mount King, and the slow running out, maybe, no, he does manage to recast it, so will Infi lose this Mount King? It looks like he might just be able to get away if he does lose a breaker, but he will be able to save his Mount King for now. He'll probably need to heal it up and let this expansion take a lot of damage. He'll need to lose these towers, and we'll have to see whether or not, no, it looks like Infi's actually going to play this quite aggressively. He's going to not wait for his healing to take full effect. He's going to move out, he's going to take out at least one breaker, level 5 now on this Archmage, very, very nice, but I assume th000 has been picking up his upgrades. He certainly has invisibility. Yeah, he does have a dispel as well, so it's going to be possible at least to get rid of those water elementals quickly. We're going to have to see whether or not he actually has enough mana to use it, because his Archmage is obviously still only level 4, so he's going to have a lot of other things on his mind. He's going to be a bit behind just in terms of water elementals and things like that. Nice invisibility used there by th000 to save his heroes from being surrounded, but it looks like he's going to lose some other units as well. Obviously the units he doesn't make invisible are the priest, which it's not really worth using a bolt to surround on. I mean, for an actual surround, getting a bolt isn't too bad, and the breakers, which you can't bolt surround. So it's if you just use invisibility on your 2 heroes, you're quite well protected there. And it looks like th000 now taking a lot of damage on his breakers from the water elementals of Infi, which just do so much damage, and it is eventually being slowed there. And it looks like Infi get chased down with this Mount King, which is only level 2 still compared to th000's level 3 Mount King. Invisibility being used yet again there by th000 on his Mount King. This game is just so back and forth. th000 now bringing in his a couple reinforcements, and his Mount King actually being left behind, but while it's in invisible form, he should always be keeping it nearby, even though it can be dispelled. His Mount King's at high health, but that's not a big problem. It's more just that he doesn't want to be surrounded, and so he can, if need be, actually he doesn't have a TP, which I guess is a result of there not being a shop on this map, so he will have to go out and buy one from his own, or he will have to, I'm not sure if he does have a shop, but if he doesn't, he'll have to build his own, and then buy a TP from there. But certainly having a TP can just be so important. It looks like a couple of these creeps are aggroed now onto Infi, and I wonder if th000 saw that and will decide to move back in. Yes, it looks like he has, but Infi now hitting level 3 on his Mount King does have enough mana for one more bolt, but unfortunately no units move in range, and th000 backs away. Gonna let this creeping go on for a bit longer, let Infi take a bit more damage, then move back in. th000 with this nice wall of breakers here, gonna move in. It does have 1/1 upgrades compared to 0/0 from Infi, who I don't think ever even got a workshop, or a blacksmith, let alone a workshop. And it looks like these things, a nice play here by th000, actually getting a nice angle here on Infi's breakers and going to be able to pick them off one by one very easily. And th000 now picking up a flute of accuracy, giving him plus 10 or 10% damage boost to all his units, which is just very nice in this situation. And it looks like we do have a lot of th000's breakers being very low on health now. And ooh, look at this, th000's picked up a green dragon. Wow. I didn't even see him go and do that, but wow, ooh, this dragon just does so much damage. Look at these stats here. Chaos damage, 48 to 81 damage, 2200 health, 6 armor, and I believe it's the same as the one at Twisted Meadows, so it can devour a unit as well. Amazing unit here for Infi, or for th000, and Infi's got to be terrified now. We're going to have to see how he wants to play this. th000 actually sending out his main damage dealer as his tank as well. This is just such an amazing game. And a bolt goes off on th000's Archmage, who is finally level 5 now, and actually almost level 4 in his Mount King as well, which would be quite nice. But with this True Shot Aura, that's just going to be so useful for Infi. But I think this dragon could be what decides the whole course of the game, just because it does so much damage. There it goes, it devours the unit, and it's just going to be so tricky for Infi to do anything about it. Obviously bolts will do almost no damage to it, and Infi just doesn't have many damage dealing units. And meanwhile, nice focus there between the bolt and the green dragon. The Mount King gets focused down, and Infi gonna have to retreat back. And does he have a tavern nearby? Yes, he does. He'll be able to buy back his Mount King immediately. Obviously this is the advantage of being on 4 bases actually now, or soon at least. He's on 3 at the moment. You can just always have your heroes back at a moment's notice, and with the Archmage out as well, you can get your mana back very quickly as well. Nice decision making here by both players, and actually th000 using a bolt there on that water elemental just to take it a bit quicker, because I think he's eager to push, although I'm not sure he should be, because although he does have this dragon, that's really his ace in the hole here, and maybe he just doesn't want to give Infi the time to react. Although what you would react with, I'm not too sure. Infi has actually put up a couple workshops now, so maybe we could see some flying machines. I mean, I don't think you could use shackles on it, so really and it's magic immune, so you couldn't go for Dragon Knock Riders or Griffins or anything like that. So we're gonna have to see how Infi wants to just respond to this one dragon, which has been picked up here by Thu in a moment of genius. I imagine he was camping the dragon roost, just waiting for it to come off cooldown, and very smart choice here, and I bet Infi's very jealous. He must have been willing to pay all his money for this dragon, but obviously when you're on so many bases, it's relatively cheap to get, and Thu now does have a paladin out, so he must be tier 3, and really Infi now taking a lot of damage and is in a lot of trouble. Infi has reacted immediately by building a bunch of riflemen, but between healing and a priest healing and a paladin healing, it's going to be very tricky for if you do anything to this dragon, which is just putting out so much damage at the moment. Single hits are doing massive amounts of damage, even to heroes. And it looks like this town hall now going to go down because of these mortar teams, which are actually have a second upgrade as well. So very nice play here, because obviously Thu has 2 upgrades now on his breakers and 2-0 on his mortar teams, so he's been getting a lot of upgrades, which I guess is a good choice when you have so much money. You can just afford to get a huge number of upgrades and try and stay on low upkeep. We do have some flying machines out, but only 3 flying machines will barely put a dent in this dragon, who has now devoured a priest as well. Look at such a beast, such a game decider as well. I think it was quite back and forth. Thu probably had a bit of an advantage. Certainly his hero levels, or his Mount King level was a bit better, his Archmage level was a bit worse, but all in all I think Thu was doing a bit better. But now that he's picked up this dragon, it's just absolutely made this game for him, and with this he probably will win the game, and then also win G League, which is a couple thousand dollars as well, so it's a good amount of money for this. And Infi must be kicking himself that he agreed to this map, because I mean certainly this map isn't in the map pool, and it looks like Infi going to go for one last push of reveal actually being used here on Infi to see what he has, although Thu doesn't really need to sort of change his unit composition at all. It's pretty much perfect for this situation. These riflemen not going to be able to do too much. It's like all the focus going here on this green dragon. It's only down by 10% of its health at the moment, and Thu actually being a bit lazy and accidentally having his Archmage attacking that Arcane Sanctum. Infi at 82 food, that you sort of can't see where that food is gone. I mean, he has his Paladin out now. It does heal up the Archmage as opposed to Mount King. Interesting choice there. It might have been a misclick, but look at this, the focus going down on the Archmage nonetheless. Nice, huge amounts of damage. Level 5 Mount King, just so much damage output. Nice invisibility, but the invisibility is dispelled, but it looks like that's not going to be enough, and Thu's going to keep his Mount King alive. The Paladin goes down as well for Infi now, and this has got to be GG now. This dragon actually taking a lot of damage, but it is being healed up by both Priest and the Paladin constantly, and all the flying machines aren't doing enough to take it down, and the riflemen are unfortunately distracted on one water elemental, and it looks like Thu is going to take this game very impressively. There's the GG from Infi. Wow, what an amazing game. And normally we can learn lessons from games, but really all we can learn from this game is that 1, Thu basically, if given the option, will play like StarCraft and expand before building any attacking units, and 2, green dragons are amazing. So I hope you enjoyed that game. A bit of a light-hearted game really, although it was in quite a serious context. I'll see you guys very soon. I'm going to try and do some games where I cover the other new maps for CEPL. There's a couple really interesting maps. There's one with like a shipyard. I mean, really amazing stuff. So sort of out of the box and completely different from what we've seen so far. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.